management of the program, but he wasn't really a test pilot, and he'd come to Muroc only as an observer. But as he later recalled, Stanley didn't have to ask him twice. During his flight, recreated here by artist Mike Bashot, he reported, as virtually all who followed him would, "I didn't get very high, I didn't go very fast. The most vivid impression I received after a very long takeoff run occurred at the moment we broke contact from the ground. It was so quiet." In an age when, as Craigie now recalls it, the flight test business was a lot less formal, he'd become America's first military jet pilot, quite by happenstance. His observation about the differences between flight testing then and now were well illustrated by the XP-59A program. There were no safety chase planes, for example, and the most important instrumentation remained the seat of the pilot's pants. Not too scientific, but by latter-day standards, relatively inexpensive, and it afforded a means of real-time data acquisition which was sure to yield immediate analyses of any problems. The aircraft was ultimately instrumented to cover about 20 different parameters, but the instrumentation was primitive, to say the least. Control stick forces, for example, were measured with a modified fish scale, and engine thrust by means of a spring scale attached to the landing gear and anchored to the ground. There was no telemetry. This was the Mission Control Center, a two-way radio and an old voice recorder to capture the pilot's comments. It may not seem state-of-the-art, but when rains flooded the lake bed and the test team had to temporarily relocate, it proved to be eminently portable. A couple of the test aircraft were ultimately modified to provide an open cockpit observation seat so someone could sit in front and read and record the data.